чекаємо. Ну так, чекаю. Так, лайв включилося. Так. Значить, заходжу в лайв. Заходжу. Так. Тут десь має бути. Ага. 160. Apply. Так. Заходжу в лайв. 160. Apply. Так. Розмито. Так. Вибираю вікно. Так. Entire screen. Так. Entire screen. Так. То я вибираю My Game. Так. Done. Так, є. Вибираю. Так. Ну і все, значить. One window, мікрофон. І згортаю, правильно? А, мікрофон я був не закрив, але, значить, добре, то one window, мікрофон відкритий і згортаю. Правильно? А, чекай, я ще ж не відкрив партію. Йо-моє. Ходи подивись, чи я все добре роблю. Зараз. Чекай. І згортаю, так? І чекаю, поки хтось прийде. Доброго дня! Вашого ніку не пригадую, ви, напевно, тут вперше. Гарного вам вечора і мирного неба над головою. Мене чути добре, бачите добре? Так, ну файно. От сьогодні я якраз завершую свій репортаж про матч з Дудою. Не дуже вдалий матч. Для мене був, так м'яко кажучи. Але все одно треба проаналізувати. Принаймні, ті, хто мене слухають, зможуть краще зрозуміти, як не треба грати в шахи. І які помилки часом можуть робити гросмейстери. Отже, ще почекаю, як прийде трошки більше глядачів, ну і буду продовжувати. Поки що всі розуміють українську мову. Коли будуть глядачі з інших країн, то перейду на англійську. Отже, перед шостою партією рахунок був 0-5 для мене. Я перші 5 партій програв, і в шостій я грав чорними. Розіграний був голландський захист. Тут d4 розпочав. Так, якось би мені перевернути. Так, як то перевернути? Чи хтось мені підкаже, як то можна перевернути дошку, щоб я дивився з сторони чорних? Так. Flipboard. Так, є. Так, ось мої були чорні. І я розіграв голландський захист, звернувши увагу, що в турнірах останніх 2 років цей дебют мого суперника не зустрічався. З тої точки зору, вибір дебюту був досить логічний, зато я навіть собі поставлю знак оклику. Абсолютно без такої думки, щоб вважати, що це найсильніший хід в позиції, звичайно, ні, але кінь С3 грає Ян Кшиштоф Дуда, ну і тут чорні не можуть допустити без бою Е2, Е4, якщо, наприклад, зіграти якось Е6, то після Е4 в білих доброго дня, в білих буде перевага. Наприклад, яка тут є теорія? Ну, всім, мабуть, відома безсмертна партія. Окей, so English speaker. So I will explain in English. So before game 6, але okay, I will. Firstly, I will explain in English. Before game 6, score was terrible for me, 0-5. So I started to play with black, game 6. Yes, this game I played with black, but not e6, I played knight f6. I just want to illustrate that e6 is a dubious line, or maybe just bad line, according to theory. Hello again. So are you Vietnamese, right? Yes. So how old are you? So I remember that you are Romanian, but you are living in Vietnam, right? If I understand correctly. Okay, so after bishop g5, bishop e7, bishop f6, bishop f6, and now knight f3 is possible. But also even more aggressive idea is queen h5, g6, queen h6, and white has very strong initiative. For example, if black takes on d4, just castle, and after knight c6, rook takes d4, queen g7, and queen takes d4, and of course white has excellent winning chances here. I cannot tell that the position is totally losing for black. They can play d5 and then queen f6, but of course this position is not playable for black as well. And of course everybody knows immortal game Lasker Thomas. It wasn't Emanuel Lasker, it was Eduard Lasker, another Lasker. But after queen e7, this is beautiful combination. Always pleasure to repeat this. Okay, so let's come back to reality, at least try this. Далі ще хочу сказати, що всім слухачам українськомовним, хто є з України, пишіть, будь ласка, українською мовою, і на ваші питання я відповідатиму українською мовою. Для інших я відповідатиму англійською. Long castle is possible as well, and also possible to make mate by shorter way. Start with f4. This is shorter way to mate, because now if castle g3, king g5, h4, if king f3, castle short. If king h4, g3, king h3, bishop f1, bishop g2, knight f2. Okay, so this is Staunton gambit. Yes, Staunton gambit. Okay, but knight f6. If white wants, they can play Staunton gambit, but this f3. Also, bishop g5 is possible. There are a lot of theory, of course. We can discuss about it as well, but not today. So bishop g5 played Jan Krzysztof. Again, e6 now it's dubious because e4, white is better. So d5 is correct move according to theory, and e3 played Jan Krzysztof. Much more popular line according to the theory is bishop takes f6, e takes f6, e3. Bishop e6 is the best. Queen f3. Bishop d3 is possible as well, but black has same plan. Knight c6, then probably queen d7 and long castle. So queen f3, knight c6. If bishop d3, queen d7. If bishop b5, black has choice. Queen d7 is possible. Also queen d6 is possible. And next move, long castle. Big expert of Dutch defense, Vladimir Malanyuk, played queen d6 usually. But nobody knows what is better. But e3 played Jan Krzysztof. I played e6, very logical. Knight f3. But bishop this about bishop e7 I'm not totally sure, because more or less obvious that black wants to play c5. So if image that c5 d takes c5, it's much better to take on c5 from f8, not from e7, and to not lose important tempos. So black has several alternatives. Bishop b4 is dubious here, because after a3, bishop c3, b takes c3. This position looks like better for black, because white is ready for c4, and if c5, c4, queen a5, queen d2, queen takes d2, knight takes d2. This endgame looks like better for white. There is question if I analyze, you mean if I analyze with Duda? Or what you mean? No, I didn't analyze. Okay, this was game 6, so we had only 2 minutes between the games, so it was immediately after game 6, after 2 minutes break, we started game 7. But after the match, I didn't analyze games. Okay, probably he is busy. He will play in Chess Olympiad. I wish him a lot of success there. So, but so bishop b4 is dubious. Okay, bishop a5 now, b4 and knight a4 looks like pleasant for white, because they are prepared for c4. But c5 probably is the most principal line, with idea if white is taking, I will take without wasting time. So this is quite complicated. For example, there are several traps. For example, bishop b5, bishop d7, knight e5. And now if black primitively taking, there is problem, bishop f6. Now if take with pawn, it will be beautiful checkmate. So of course necessary to take with queen, but after knight takes b5, knight c7 is unpleasant threat. Not possible to play queen d8, because queen h5 is coming. Okay, queen h5 maybe not winning, although because after g6, knight takes g6. Yes, it's winning, because after queen a5, white has knight c3. So it's winning. So after knight b5, knight a6, but now c4, and this looks, or even c3, queen a4 is coming. This position looks like pretty unpleasant for black. Maybe not losing yet, I mean, something like this, but now even knight d6 is possible. If bishop takes d6, queen a4 check. And probably black is in big trouble. So king e7, only move, queen d7 check, king f8. Now if take on d6, queen e7, it's not so bad for black, surprisingly, but white can take also here. Bad news. But okay, this line, it's not forcing. So of course, after knight e5, black should play the bishop e7, and this position looks like totally playable for black. So because black is ready for castling. So maybe c5 is more principle, but well, it is necessary to check games about this topic. I'm sure that there are some games from this position, and c5 already was played. Maybe. But I played bishop e7, bishop d3. I played castle. Again, not so obvious, but I played this. Maybe c5 is possible. But I played castle and okay. Good question. If I don't know these lines, but okay, nobody forbid me to analyze these lines. And, in each opening, there are some lines which I don't know well, and not only myself, even as a strong grandmaster. So chess is not process where you can know everything, and during the game you can just demonstrate your knowledge and nothing more. But okay, I totally agree with your recommendation that I need to prepare this line more carefully, because from the opening I went into terrible position very quickly. So of course I don't want to repeat it. So I played castle, knight e2. Now knight e2 is very logical move. Knight has f4 square, and also white is prepared for c4 now. Of course, black can try to play something like this, this, castle, 97, c4, c6, in style of Stonewall system, but bishops are exchanged, so in this structure it's useful for white. So I played c5, d takes c5, I took with bishop, so I lost a tempi. Maybe queen a5 was possible, with idea to take with queen, maybe even more reasonable, but okay, it's complicated position. Castle, for example, if knight c6, knight d4 is possible. And somewhere white wants to prepare c4. If white will push c4 in some moment, it can be unpleasant because of structure. Yes, I agree that important to know ideas, and I'm trying to explain ideas during my streams, not only today. So I took and castle. So immediately c4 is also possible, but white need to consider bishop b4 possibility. Check, so castle it's more logical, and now white is totally preparing for c4. So I played knight c6, c4, D takes c4, bishop takes c4. So white reached everything what they wanted. Knight f3, d6, sorry. There is interesting question. Knight f3, first move. d6, d4, f5. Knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5. Ah, yes, okay, d5, yes. Okay, so, but no reason to play d5. According to theory, knight d7 is the best here. Oh, queen d3 is main move, g6, e4, f takes e4, knight takes e4. This is some kind of theory. Bishop g7, long castle, short castle, h4, something like this. So this is theory. So expert of Dutch defense usually starting with g6 here, and only after c4 they are playing f5 to prepare knight f6. For example, you can follow a game Gelfand-Giri. But okay, let's come back to our game. So my opening was bad, and in this position white is better because my pawn on f5 is weaker than on f7. So with pawn on f7, position more or less equal, but with pawn on f5 I have a real weakness on e6 without sufficient compensation. So queen e7. Okay, I am trying not to lose immediately. a3, king h8, rook c1, bishop b6. Now I'm thinking maybe e5 was more logical in this position. If there is no any tactical refutation, why not? Of course, white has some ideas. Even knight c3 is possible if e4, knight d5. But okay, at least it was more or less principal way. Played bishop b6 and now knight f4. So now I can forget about e5 because knight d5 is coming. And also in some variation knight h5 is possible like threat. So again my position looks like quite bad. Played bishop d7, b4. I have no contraplay, so I cannot play e5 because knight d5. I cannot play h6 because knight g6, of course. Rook d8, queen b3, rook e8, rook d1. So very easy. Chess is very easy played, and without terrible blunders, I am in very bad position. Yes, 8-game match. Now I'm demonstrating game 6. So previous games I demonstrated yesterday and the day before yesterday. So now, okay, queen e8 instead of bishop d7. Queen e8. Okay, maybe it's possible, but anyway, I don't like. First of all, I don't like queen e7 and queen e8. If I want to have uh, queen on e8, much more logical to play immediately queen e8 if I want to have queen on e8. Okay, maybe here was possible, but anyway, okay, e5 you want. What white can do. Although now knight on f4, so you want to play e5 with tempos. It's yes, I agree that probably this idea was more reasonable than what I played, but also knight e4 is idea. Yes, maybe you're right. Queen e8 is interesting move. But I didn't consider this move during the game. Okay, but how to play with white? I'm trying to understand. Okay, maybe bishop b5, e5, knight d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. But somewhere h6 is possible. e5, knight d5. Bishop d8 there is proposition. Instead of bishop b5. So yes, queen e8, very creative move, but during the game, this idea not appear in my head. So, idea to utilize knight on f4. Uh, this and knight g5, but okay, h6 is possible. h4 may be possible, but it's at least unclear. Yes, I agree. Queen e8 was a really interesting move, but I didn't play this. So, after several moves, I'm in bad position. Queen f7, he took on f6. I can take g takes f6, but I was afraid about my king in future after queen c3, for example. So I decide to take with queen, but knight g5 now. I have real problem with e6 pawn. So I cannot play e5 because knight f7. За півроку вперше побували у Львові. Ну, то, що Львів дуже гарний, я цілком згодний і дуже часто, прогулюючись по Львову, я горджуся тим, що живу в такому гарному місті. I'm explaining about Lviv, so it's really nice city. Knight d8 I played, so I'm trying to defend, but a4. My position is pretty unpleasant because white has initiative, white piece is much more active than mine, and white can do something in both flanks. I played h6, a5, bishop c7, bishop f5. And suddenly I cannot take, because after take I cannot... maybe I can protect my rook. I was sure that I cannot protect my rook, but I can play queen f7. The situation is not so clear. White has no mate. Because after g6 I can play queen e7. So what is this? I didn't see it. So probably bishop b5 is just mistake, and now white is piece down. Okay, they can have two pieces against. They can have a rook and pawn against two pieces, but this is not enough. And important that after this, white has no way to transfer queen on h3 quickly, because if e4, bishop takes f4, and if queen h3, bishop h6, e4 is clear blunder. So I could e4 and bishop c4 and queen h3. Okay, g6. G6 is possible, but queen e7. e4 you cannot play because bishop takes f4 and bishop a6. So very strange moment. He is giving me peace, and I'm not even considering such a capture. So probably I trust him too much. Yes, takes and rook c1 is possible, of course, but maybe even without g6. Yes, this is probably the best. If knight c6, b5. If knight takes a5, queen c3 is coming. Yes, so maybe it's possible. Yes, so rook c1. Very deep idea. Of course, if he have seen all of this during the game. Bravo. Ali Reza finally beat Magnus. Okay. Not so big achievement, in my opinion, because I beat Magnus many times. Yes, so this is really dangerous. So probably was strong idea. Rook f8. Yes, queen d1, queen h5 also. Thank you. So I played rook f8. Так, knight e4. Alexander Rustemov. Let's see. Knight e2, knight e4. Instead of castle, knight e4 immediately. Well, after castle, you mean. Knight e4, takes, castle. C5, c4, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, knight d6. I have seen such a recommendation probably in book of Malanyuk, something like this. But of course, it's not total equality. At least doesn't look like total equality. Well, so let's come back to the game. So young Krzysztof attacking me, and he will be winning. So queen c4. I'm losing material now because my bishop is hanging. I have no idea how to protect. So if I have beaten Kasparov 6 times, that's true. So logical result of this game was of course 1-0, and score could be 6-0 in favor of Jan Krzysztof. But I didn't resign. In this position, I played knight is c6. Knight e6, because everything is terrible for black. White is clearly winning. Bishop takes f4 after queen c4. Maybe it was better, but anyway, position is hardly promising for black after simple e takes f4. Knight f7. Okay, maybe it was the best chance, but anyway, I can repeat that my position is very bad. But okay, I agree that in the game it looks even much worse. So knight f7, rook f7. White has many possibilities to win in this position. I don't know even what is the most simple. My score against Garvey, okay. I won 6 games, but I lost maybe 13 games, something like this. I don't remember. Easy to check with database. Magnus. Well, I would be happy to play against Magnus again. Even in World Championship match, but he doesn't want to play with such an old players as me, unfortunately. Okay, so at the moment I'm totally losing. White has many possibilities to win. 15 games. Okay. He likes to play with Firuzja. His choice. Okay, so he could take on c6, take on c7, play b5 and win this position quite easily. White has pawn up and better position. I don't know what wants Magnus. Probably he wants to try. I don't know what he wants to try. He will continue play chess. Don't know. It's better to ask him what he wants. Maybe he wants now something which not okay. Totally agree that he wants to enjoy his life, and I wish him a lot of success in this road. It's good idea, but it doesn't look that chess disturb him in this prospect. So it looks like chess brings him a lot of pleasure. If he doesn't want, okay. Okay, so I will be not commentator of this because this is his private choice, and I don't know some reasons. But okay, Jan Krzysztof took on c7, rook takes c7, and he play a6. Not so bad, but after b takes a6, okay. Now he took on a6, it is blitz, but well, objectively speaking, bishop a4 looks like much stronger. And now rook c1 is very strong threat, just win a piece. So what can I do here? So against rook c1. rook c8, but after rook c8, queen takes a6, so it looks like quite good time for resign for black in this position. So I cannot allow rook c1. Rook c8 is only reasonable move because queen f7, white just taking and taking on c6. Queen f7 doesn't help. So rook c8 is only more or less reasonable move, but after queen takes a6, game is over. Так, питання щодо Олімпіади. Я не знаю, хто там грає і які шанси в збірної України. Просто не знаю. Не дивився я склади команд, нічого конкретно не можу сказати. Що ще до цього додати? If rook d8, for example, just take. Everything is winning. Okay, the simplest way, just take and to play bishop d7. White has two extra pawns. Queen e6 in which moment? In which moment queen is... here queen e6. Okay, queen e6. Rook c1. So after bishop a4, I'm totally losing. So score 6-0 was very, very likely in this moment. So after bishop a4. But okay, so Jan Krzysztof took my pawn because of probably because of checkers reflex. Like taking is obligatory, but of course this is mistake. And okay, now white still much better, but at least I can do some moves. Sorry, queen e6, queen e6. Okay, after bishop takes c6, I can take with rook. So, okay, I'm only 2 pawns down, so I will take with rook. But okay, much more simple to play rook c1 and game is over. Okay, so bishop takes a6. Of course, my position still not so good. I'm pawn down and knight e7. I will just take the queen because I have window for my king. After rook takes c1, king h2. Okay, I need to add some light. Okay, so rook e7 I played. Everything wins, that's true. Okay, now still very bad position because white has pawn up and at least black has no any compensation. Black king is weak as well. Maybe also white has concrete ideas, for example, bishop b5 looks logical. If knight e5, rook d8, king h7, queen g8, king g6, bishop e8, knight f7, and Only my happiness in this position that I'm not losing by force, but it's only what I can be proud. Okay, h5 he played. And now knight e5 is impossible because rook d8, queen g8 mate. But okay, I played king h7. Suddenly I still fighting. Of course, in very bad position. But how to win? Now it's not such an obvious like before. Maybe bishop c8 was a very good idea to attack my f5 pawn. If, for example, knight e5, queen f4, pawn is attacked, if rook f7, rook d5, and white is winning. So, and how I can defend? Hard to believe that I can defend because white is ready to play rook d5 in some moment. So, position still totally winning for white. If rook e8, white can even take simply and take here. Okay, but now I can play rook f8. Maybe I will take one pawn back and still I have some chances. So probably this line is not totally convincing. Rook e4 here. Maybe, but queen c5. Hard to believe that it is possible to defend this position. But okay, so after bishop c5, white has big advantage, probably decisive advantage, but b5 played. Knight takes in which moment? So rook e4. Okay, bishop f5 is also possible. Yes, but knight takes before bishop takes f5. So. Okay, bishop takes f5 is possible as well, right? This is possible. Black can take on b4 also, but of course, it's excellent winning chances for white, even after queen d5. But okay, so b5 he played. b5 is a risky move because now his bishops is a little bit out of play. So it can give me some chances. So there is question about bishop c8, rook e4, queen c5 with knight e5. No, if knight e5, f4 is coming simply. And black can resign or not? Rook c4. Rook c4. Okay, rook c4 is only try, but after takes, rook takes c5, takes, rook d7. Я не буду грати на Олімпіаді, тому що мене ніхто не запрошував там грати. I'm explaining that I will not play in Olympiad because nobody invited me to play. Was stuck. Okay, but he played b5, knight e5. So now his bishop is, on a6 is a little bit out of play. It gives me some chances. Oh, although anyway, objectively position is very bad for black. Pass pawn. No, okay. Pass pawn, a pawn. You mean, for example, in this line, rook, bishop c8, rook e8. Is this? Ah, okay. Now it's another line with passed pawn. But okay, such endgame. No, I don't think that black can survive in this position. That's true that black has passed pawn, but in general, white can win this easily. For example, I will give a variation. This e4. It's not forcing, but like illustration. Sorry, rook a5, a3, g4, a2. But maybe not g4. Sorry, after a3, king g3. I will play. After a2, king f4. This is easy win for. Maybe even king g4 is better to prevent rook h1. Okay, but maybe black has some chances actually. For example, now rook h1 and rook takes h5. Okay, maybe it's still win for white, but some. Okay, but queen c5 is a more clear way without exchange bishop against knight. Thanks, it's great movie. Yes, but knight takes b4 is not possible because you are losing everything. So knight e5 is not possible. So knight e7 is only a reasonable move, but well, bishop d7. White is pawn up and better position. White should win. Okay, so queen f4 he played. More logical was probably queen c2 to prepare bishop c8. And still my chances to survive are not so big because bishop c8 is unpleasant threat. For example, this rook e5. In many ways, even bishop d7 is possible just to protect the pawn because black has no contraplay. Queen g5 is impossible because f4. Queen h4 impossible because bishop takes f5 and white can slowly improve his position. Now probably f4 is even threat. If rook e3, queen takes f5. So queen c2 was queen b6. In which moment queen b6? Queen b6, I will take on f5. So queen b6 impossible. But okay, anyway, black is losing. Okay, probably queen g5 there is idea. If f4 knight takes e3, it doesn't look realistic, frankly speaking. But maybe black is not losing by force. Oh, they are. Okay, this. Maybe black is not losing because after g6, king g8, rook c1. Black is losing because after rook e1 takes, bishop f5, knight is trapped. And important that this is drawish position without pawns b5, a7. If you imagine that there are no b5 and a7 pawns, black can take on g2 and this is drawish. So this position is drawish without b5 and a7. But okay, there are. So after rook c1, black has no defense. If rook c5, white has many ways for win. Well, the simplest is bishop e6 and bishop b3. Rook c3, bishop takes c2, and then king will go to d2. Yes, Giri Shankland game. Yes. Agree. But okay, Jan Krzysztof played queen f2, and I played rook c7, and suddenly I have some contraplay. Even because if rook d5, knight g4 is coming. And after queen takes c7, this is mate suddenly. And also black has this idea. If queen takes e5, rook c1, and queen h4 mate. So suddenly I have some contraplay after rook c7. Of course, white is totally out of danger. They can give pawn and play some move. Bishop e2, for example. Only white can be better. b6, it's not so easy to play. So rook d5, I have rook c4. This is unpleasant. Okay, probably also possible. If g3, I have idea rook c1 and rook c2. And suddenly white has problem with f2 pawn. So situation is changed somehow. Control already 3 plus 2, it was blitz. And white has winning chances. Material is equal, but black pawn f5 is very weak. Knight g4 not exist anymore because I can simply take, and after this is not made because bishop f1. So after rook d5, what to play? If rook c5, white is just taking and playing bishop c8. And okay, now g6 also I have this. So okay, now black has chances to survive. But maybe after g6, maybe e4 is more precise. But okay, it's I cannot assert that white is winning. For example, king g7 is possible if he takes f5, g5. So okay, I can fight, but of course only white pretend for win here. Black cannot pretend. But without b6, not so easy to play suddenly for white because I have some threats. Probably not so strong threats objectively. For example, white can play f3. Bishop d3. Bishop d3 also interesting. Black should play rook f7 and bishop b1 somehow. Yes, with idea rook d5 or e4. Yes, it's also good and white is better. I agree. Bishop d3 also nice idea because I cannot take on d3. Or I can, no. I'm considering this and queen b2 with idea if rook d3, queen b1, but queen g3 it's possible. Queen g3 with idea queen g6. Okay, if queen e2, maybe just rook a1. Oh, okay, queen f3, it's even easier to protect h5 pawn. Bishop d3, rook c1, no, rook c1, bishop takes f5 check. White is winning. Yes, so bishop d3, I agree, it's nice move and white should win. Okay, good winning chances in this position. But okay, maybe there are other possibilities. f3, for example, rook c4 is possible. And if rook d4, knight d3, it's pretty unpleasant. Also, maybe nothing terrible for white. So queen d6 is possible. And still white has winning chances. So f3 was quite a good move because g4 is very important square for black knight. So if after rook d4, rook c1 check, king h2 is possible. After knight g4, not necessary to take because there is mate, but white can play king g3 and but now rook h1. Sorry, and queen h4 is threatened. Queen h4 and rook f1 and black is winning. So, but okay, so probably white has possibility to avoid this. Maybe king f2 is more precise. But okay, now at least I have some checks. Yeah, knight g4 is possible to consider. Okay. Also rook h1 is possible. Okay, now I have contraplay. So f3, it's not convincing. So b6 was the best move, certainly. But maybe also e4 is possible. Also nice move. Yes, he wants to take on f5. If I take on e4, queen takes e4, and again white has excellent winning chances. After king f2, rook c4. Rook c4 with idea knight d3. Okay, but white can play king g3. So rook c4 probably not the best, but knight g4 is interesting because if take queen h4, if queen g3, rook f1, if king e2, although it's not convincing because if queen e1, king f3, if rook e1, king d3, so king g. Sorry, white queen d6 with rook d4. In which moment? Okay, in this position, after knight d3, I proposed queen d6. What is your proposition? Rook takes d4? Or what? After white queen d6, rook takes d4, I will take this, and I will take this, and excellent chances to win. In which moment? What you want? So after knight d3, I played queen d6, and I evaluated position like much better for white. Rook c8. Rook c4, king f3. Is that f3 line? So f3. What you mean? If we are considering f3 line. Rook c4 we are considering. Rook d4. If knight d3, queen d6. If rook c1, king f2 only move, because king h2 is bad, because knight g4, but king f2 is possible. Okay, but now rook h1 is possible, and black has strong counterplay. Although maybe not so strong. And because rook d5, knight g4, f take g4, queen h4, king e2, queen e1, check. King f3 not possible because mate. So king d3 is only move. And what is this? Queen d1 check, king c4, queen c2 probably. It's dangerous for white. So, for example, this, rook d1 and queen c7. But king e6 suddenly, and black has no checks. If queen b6, rook d6. After queen d6, 3 rook c. Queen d6, rook c1 is your proposition, but king h2. Black has no mate from h4 because rook on d4. Well, queen h4 not possible, and black should exchange queens, and endgame is very bad for. King f2, rook c2. Okay, let's try. Knight d. Rook c1, king f2, rook c. King g3, g5. And black is winning. Yes. Because you will take with queen after h takes g6. So after rook c2, but why I need to play king? If I play king f1, I can you can play knight d3. So king g1 and draw probably. After rook c4, white plays was with king on f2, white rook on c4, white queen on f4. So what was f3, rook c4, rook d4, rook c1, king f2. You mean this position? Okay, so anyway, okay, b6 was possible, e4 was possible, but so three it's possible. Maybe, but like it's not almost. But okay, now at least black has some answers because bishop is a little bit out of place. So he played king h2, and I started to think. Knight g4 check. Another idea was rook c2 in this position. Yes, but after rook c2, he has f3. E4 after rook c4. You mean f3? Here e4. Yes, you are right. Because if takes, white can take and play b6. Yes, it looks like winning for white. Yes, so e4 is possible. Yes, e4 is possible. Rook c2, f3, queen g5. Where in the game, so okay. Here rook c2. F3, queen g5. I understand idea. Nice idea. If queen takes g5, knight takes f3, and knight takes g5, and this endgame looks like more or less drawish. Yes. It should be draw. Yes, rook c2 was possible. But I played check. King g3 he played. I played rook c2 now. And what is this? So my idea was if f3 to take on e3, of course. If queen takes e3 to play f4, after queen takes f4, rook takes g2 and queen takes f4. And here black has winning chances. Maybe white can build fortress after rook d5, I don't know, but it's not easy to survive for white. Queen f7, for example. So this was my idea. But okay, so he played rook d6. Totally possible simply play rook f1 and protect the pawn. So, okay, but if rook f1, probably I have idea g5. And if he is taken, I can take with queen with some threats. If he is not taken, queen d4 is possible, maybe. And clear position. Black has even idea this, to play this, knight e3, and f4 is coming. Yes, so he played rook d6. I played queen f7. And now he played b6. Again, I have same idea. If f3 to take on e3. If queen takes e3, f4. So he played b6. I took on f2. This I calculated well. B takes a7, knight e4 check. Also, he took on e4, but why not king h2? Why I am good here? It's a big question. Or maybe I'm not good. Okay, only what I can do is take on h5. I have no choice. But king g1. And his a pawn is very dangerous. Knight f2 doesn't work because he can just take and promote queen. Maybe also possible simply take. Okay, now queen h4 and queen e4, maybe it's less. Okay, even this. White is pawn up, white is piece up, and it should be winning for white. I don't see how black can survive here. Everything was strange. You wrote that king g1, h2, g3 was strange, but in this match everything was strange. So no normal games in this match. Because of this, I call this on flu on Cuckoo nest, over the Cuckoo nest. So after king h2, probably white is still winning or what? Ah, but sorry, why I didn't take here? Because if queen, I have such a mate. Sorry. I didn't see during the game, so nice idea. So I could take on h5. And what with threat so queen takes f2 probably is correct. Queen g4 check. King h2. And now if I'm taking, he promote queen and g2 pawn is protected. It's very important, and white has piece up and good winning chances. Okay, probably black can survive somehow, but not clear. Oh, this is idea. If e takes f4, queen takes f4, and queen takes d6. But okay, white can play probably. Ah, queen h4, queen f2. So maybe king g1 is possible. Okay, king g1, rook e4. Black has some chances to survive. Ah, or if king, also this idea is possible. and perpetual check. So queen takes h5, queen takes f2. This looks like only move because knight h1, it's very unpleasant threat and white has no choice. So queen takes f2 only move, so this is forcing. Oh, okay, queen g5 is also possible, this idea to take on e3. Queen g5 is possible because white cannot go to f3 with knight, this is mate. So king h2 is only move, but now black can take on f2 and take on e3, and this is black has two pawns and queen f4 is threat. Aha, queen h4 and rook f4. So queen takes h5 was strong move, but knight e4 was bad move. So there is proposition this, and played rook a2. Yes. No, but if queen f3, it's impossible. Queen f3, it's impossible because of pin, and you have idea. You have several ideas. Queen h4, rook a1 mate. There is idea. So so but rook d4 is possible. Rook d4, queen g6 unpleasant. Yes, so after no, queen f3, queen takes f3. Queen f3, it's not possible at all. Okay, but okay, is it perpetual check if white plays, for example, queen d5? Queen d5. So black has perpetual check, but I am not sure that black has more than perpetual check. Yes, perpetual check black has. Rook a6 is draw. So, yes, but I played this, and now after king h2, I am in trouble again. So queen takes e4 was blunder. So king h2, king g1, and now again white has good winning chances. But he took on e4, f takes e4, queen f2. Now it looks like I'm winning. Finally. So king g4 only move. After queen d5 there is proposition. Queen h5. Okay, queen h5, king g1. And after rook a1, bishop f1. Knight e4, king h4. So king h4 here. Wow. Interesting question. What is this? H4. Very interesting. If rook c1, bishop f1 is possible. King h4. I'm thinking. I have a nice idea. I can take, and here I can play rook g4 check. After queen takes g4, I can play this. King h3 is only move. I will take, and then I will take. If I take rook, bishop d3 is coming. So this, g6, and white is better, but black has chances to survive. Okay, just a moment. Rook g4, queen e7, king h3. What's this? Maybe I have some intermediate check. Queen g5 firstly, but king f3. So queen g5 is queen g5 is possible, because if king f3 only move, king h3 is not possible. But after king f3, black has this idea. If king takes e4, queen h1 check. Yes. And suddenly, probably black is even winning here. Okay, so king h4 is too artificial move. But another question, why white need to take on g4? King g2 is much stronger. And now after knight d6, bishop d3, g6 only move. Okay, white is better, maybe black will survive, but for example, this, even check is possible. Okay, maybe it's draw, but only white. But there is another proposition. After king h4, what move you want to propose? After rook g2, rook g6. This is proposition. Also interesting. Yes, also interesting. King h4, rook c1, there is proposition. I was thinking about rook c1, but after rook c1, I have seen something, but what exactly? Yes, rook c1. Yes, rook c1 is strong. Yes, rook c1 is strong move. But bishop f1, bishop f1, yes. Yes, bishop f1, surely. It was idea. So if rook takes g2, rook g6 is proposition. Queen h2 where? So king h4, rook c1, bishop f1. So king h4, so interesting move. Hi. Rook g4, rook g6, rook g5. But what is the threat if just promote queen? I don't see real threats. Yes, totally crazy lines. Queen e7 probably. No, queen e7 not possible. Rook h5 and queen g6, but okay, white is queen up. No mate. And no perpetual check. So king h4. After rook g2, rook g6. Very attractive line. I don't see refutation. Also important that, for example, here, if queen e7, king h3, if rook f1, queen takes f1, queen takes d6, white has queen takes f5. Not queen immediately because queen g3, of course. Yes, if rook f1, queen e7, king h3, and black has nothing. King h4, what to do? Rook g2, rook g6. Very nice line. Okay, so maybe it was possible, but in the game he took on e4 and it was happy end for me. King e6 he cannot take because queen g2. And it should be winning for white. Okay, maybe white has still some chances after king e5 and bishop d3, bishop c2, but it looks like winning for white. King e6 he played, queen f6, king d5 he played, king d7 not possible because I have this, and I'm taking the queen, so king d5 was only move, so check, queen c5 check, king d6. So finally I managed to win the game. So after bishop d3, rook d2. He cannot protect his bishop, so game is over. So finally I won. Okay, so after this game, 5-1 is score. Match is over because it was 8 games match. So he has already 5 points. But at least I won one game. Okay, so we will continue. In next game, I was white. And I decided to play King's Gambit. It wasn't logical solution because in Petrov defense I had excellent position. About opening, okay, I don't know why I changed opening. So I have no logical explanation why not repeat Petrov defense, but I decide to play King's Gambit. Queen h4. According to theory, the best line for black is knight f6 after knight c3, c6, or bishop b4 here, with idea if e5, d5. So queen h4 is not the best according to theory. I don't know what I tried. Okay, very difficult to say. Only I remember that I was really shocked about score in the match. No, I didn't play just for fun. Okay, so opening is good for white, and because black lost a lot of tempo. So I played d5. Well, I have choice. It's possible to take simply. If queen takes, I can just take back with excellent position. If pawn takes, e5 is possible. At least I can take the pawn back and have a good position. For example, d takes e5, d takes e5. Knight takes e5 is possible as well. Knight d7 probably, it's unclear position, but I can take with pawn. After queen f5, at least I have queen d3, and then I will take back f4 pawn with good development. So positions is playable for white. But also queen e2 was possible, because the difference between queen d3 and queen e2, after queen d3 black can play knight d7, but after queen e2 knight d7 is bad because of knight d5. And here is spin. But okay, so black can take and play knight d7. This is more accurate, and they are prepared for castle. Okay, d5 is not a bad move, but after bishop g4, the best was simply play h3. And after bishop f3, queen takes f3. Black hardly can defend his pawn. If I will take back my pawn on f4, I will have good position. So g5 is very risky. For example, h4, h6, I can take and play knight d5. If c takes d5, bishop d5, they will lost his rook, and other moves also dangerous. For example, queen e5, bishop d2 is coming, and then bishop c3, so something like this. So after h3, I had very good position. And if bishop h5, now I can do what I played in the game, because now it's important difference. First of all, I can take with knight and attack his bishop, and also I can take with bishop. It's excellent position, because after c takes d5, queen takes d5, it's not playable for black. Rook is hanging and bishop is hanging. But instead of h3, I took on c6. And also now h3 was good move, but I played knight d5. Also I considered knight b5 idea, but wasn't sure how strong it is, because anyway black can play queen d8. I can play knight d4 with compensation for the pawn, but probably not more. But I played knight d5, queen d8, and now unfortunately I cannot take with bishop, because if I'm taking with bishop, c takes d5. If bishop takes d5, knight d7, all black is protected. If queen takes d5, important that black has bishop e6 resource. And if bishop b5 check, knight d7. If queen takes a8, bishop takes c4. So it was important light. I took on f4, he played knight d7, and now material is equal, but I need to do something with my king. h3 I played. So I decide to change structure and fight for e5 square, but my king is permanently weak. Well, I had choice. Probably queen d4 was possible with idea knight f6, e5, this, bishop e7. But anyway, black is prepared for castle, and my king is in some dangers. For example, if bishop e3, castle, if h3, bishop d6, it's a little bit. If queen g5, rook e8, something like this. So it's not easy to play for white. How often I'm playing online? Okay, I don't know when I will play next match. If it will be organizers who wants to see this, okay, we'll see if I will have new match in Twitch. I will inform, not in Twitch, if I will have new match, I will give information on Twitch as well. So I play h3, takes, knight gf6, so black is ready um, to organize his development, and my king is weak. This is bad situation for blitz. So I played king g2, bishop e7, rook f1, castle, bishop b3. Probably knight d3 was more logical somehow to prepare bishop f4. I played bishop b3, a5, c3, knight e5. And now I played knight d3, but he played knight g6, and I'm not happy with my king. So bishop e3. Rook b8. Not easy to play. I cannot play f4. But bishop f2 is very strange move. For sure I need to try to control f4 square. So natural move here was queen e2 to prepare rook a e1. And to have, if knight h5, f4, favorite book, I don't know what is my favorite book. Difficult to say. There are many interesting books, but if one, okay, excellent book, for example, Edmar Medni's book, How Bobby Fischer Was Beaten. But there are many other books. So queen e2 was natural, bishop f2 looks very strange because I'm losing control to f4 square. Queen d2, I'm trying to defend this, but king h8, very logical idea. He's preparing f5. And my situation is bad. f5, so somewhere a4 resource can be important. King h2, queen c7. Looks like trampoline in drafts. Black are preparing for d5 in some moments. And I play e5, a4, knight f7, queen takes f7, and now I spoiled the game. So the best final of this game was, of course, bishop takes f7, knight takes h3, and knight g3 mate. But I spoiled this. This queen takes f4 and resigning after queen g6. Okay, so again, I had quite a promising position after the opening, but from the DC, BC, knight d5, my game start to be collapse. So after h3, my prospects were quite good, in my opinion, instead of d takes c6, knight d5. And last game for today, last game from this match, which I played really bad, but okay, what to do? Is it everything okay with stream? Because if nobody writes, I'm worried if probably something wrong with video or with... No, it wasn't 5-2, so 6-1 already after game 7. And last game I played with black. I played c5. I played g6, okay. Bishop b5 check, very popular line. White wants to play a4 after any moves. Black has several systems. For example, Sergei Kasparov likes to play here bishop d7 after a4, castle, castle, bishop b5, a b5, knight d7. This idea to play knight b6 and knight e8, knight c7 in future, try to attack b5 pawn. This was choice of Sergei Kasparov. But I played knight fd7, a4, knight a6, castle, knight c7, bishop c4, castle, bishop f4. White plays very solid in the center. Possible plan to prepare rook e1 and e5. I play a6, rook e1, rook b8. I want to play b5. So if, for example, e5, I can take everything and play b5. But he played a5. I played b5, ab. Now I have choice. Rook takes b6 was possible as well, but maybe after rook b6, rook a2, I can play. It's quite a good position. Good evening. I took with knight, bishop f1. So all what white is doing is very solid. Bishop g4. Title Tuesday, yes, I played several times, but I never won a prize, unfortunately. h3, this. Positionally, white is better because two bishops. a6 is weakness. Somewhere white wants to push e5. So I played knight d7, attacking the pawn, rook a2, knight b5, knight b1. Maybe knight d1 was also possible, but he wants to have d1 square for the knight, for the queen. In case of queen, for example, if he plays knight d1, I can play knight d4. And now he has no square d1 for king. Anyway, not bad for white. He can play queen d3 and prepare c3, and in future knight e3, knight c4 is coming, so white has quite a good position. So probably knight d1 wasn't worse objectively than knight b1, but he played knight b1. So white plan is more or less simple, to play c3 and then knight d2, knight c4. So very classical strategy. I played f5. I am trying to complicate position, but calmly c3, knight c7, calmly knight d2, f takes e4, and okay, this position maybe I am worse, but of course was no reason to lost in several moves. So rook f7 was correct move, just to protect the pawn. Now I have threat knight f6 and take on d5. But okay, so I have seen bishop rook f7, but bishop g5. Probably knight f6, white is just taken, and then knight will go to c4. White is better, but okay, it's playable position. What I did, I played knight f6, so this. And I totally missed that. I have seen that after knight takes d. But why I didn't take with this knight? Okay, bye. Thanks if you enjoyed the stream. Okay, knight takes f d5 was better, of course, but anyway, nothing good for me here. Even bishop c4 is possible. After rook takes f4, rook takes c7. If rook takes c4, rook takes g7, and Knight takes c4, and this endgame looks like very bad for me. So I have seen something like this during the game, but I took with another knight, and I totally forget that after this my both rook is attacked, so I didn't even win exchange, so my position is totally hopeless. So I played this and resigned. So with this game, this nightmare was finished for me. So 7-1, terrible lost for me, and floor over Kuchko's net. Yes, I agree that always there is next time, next games, next ideas, next preparation, and next day, next night, and many things in future. And I hope future will be nice. Thanks for attention, and I will go to sleep now. Goodbye. Okay, about my opponent, yes, he is young and talented, of course, but it wasn't reason to lost 1 against 7. It's too much. What you mean? Last question. В ней не было. What is this? Чего не было? Okay. No possible. It was possible. That's right. It was possible to collect many points more, but okay, next time. Goodbye. Thanks for your attention.